With the lyrics mod trend finally slowing down, I think it's time to make a top 10 list for the best songs that have actually come out in this period. In this video, we're going to actually rank the songs based on their influence on the FNF community, their creativity, and their originality. And we're going to start off at the number 10 slot with the song called Turn Bass. I know a lot of people may not agree with this one beating out so many other lyric songs to make it here to the top 10, but when you look at originality and creativity, so many of the lyrics mods that have come out have just been clones / parodies of TWIDDLEFINGER or like Jeffy's Endless Athos. Turn Bass, while being pretty simple, is original and is one of the more catchy lyrics mods to ever be released. In the 9th place spot, we have the mod called Moonshits, and while I know this one was meant to be more of a joke mod, you have to admit that it was more unique than 90% of the other lyrics mods to drop during this time period. And as I've said before, even though this is not a serious mod, this is FNF, not The Last of Us, not Baldur's Gate. People didn't come to FNF for deep lore and meaning, even though some of the mods do provide that. But people originally came to FNF because it's goofy and doesn't take itself too seriously.
I did a hole, cheated myself, I didn't reach your salvation. My demons lost rules on the gates, no there's blood, everywhere is building my death.
Next, we have the Drop and Roll mod, and while initially I didn't rank this one super high, simply because I didn't know much about this version of Sonic actually presented in the mod, but after looking at the mod objectively, it is simply better than a lot of the lyrics mods that have come out over the last 2 months, meaning that I feel pretty confident putting this one in 8th place. In 7th place, we're going to go ahead and go with the FNAF 3 mod. And when it comes to creativity, I think this mod shines above many FNF mods in general, not just lyrics mods. But I also have to acknowledge that Springchart's vocals in this mod actually really carry it, while Boyfriends are also pretty good too.
Flesh and fear, you've been breaking down in here. Through the darkness I've been watching, as your eyeballs flood with tears. And now your heart is slowly still away, and not through it's simply viewing. So take your hands and hold them high. I'm coming for you, little ones, time to die.
In the 6th place spot, we have the Funkadelic mod, and I may be a bit biased here simply because I really enjoyed the mod, but judging by how popular it was when it first dropped, I think most people would agree that it's definitely one of the better lyrics mods to drop.
Pokemon's here, time to give a big cheer. Pokemon's here, time to turn up the beer. Now it's time to trick or treat, watching the candy Chewy. Yeah! Now it's time to trick or treat, monsters on the Chewy. Tripping out that. Feel the fright.
At the 5th place slot, we have the Crimson Awakening mod, and some people may be surprised that it made it so high on the list. The primary reason that I put it at the 5th place slot is because it's one of the few lyrics mods that had a cutscene, but it wasn't just a ripoff of Jeffy's mod or TWIDDLEFINGER. The lyrics also made sense and related to the downfall of Angry Birds. And while this one may not have been the most polished, I think it definitely deserves this top 5 place. Moving on to the 4th place slot, we have the Rotten-Smoothie mod. And while I don't think anyone is surprised that it made it so high, I will still explain. Rotten-Smoothie is probably the best Jeffy's Athos parody mod that has come out thus far. The lyrics were actually well done, it was creative, and you could tell that the people worked hard on it. And that's not necessarily to put down any of the other Athos clones, but you can tell that some of them were made quickly and were mainly just people jumping on a trend. In the third place slot, I have to go with TWIDDLEFINGER. And the main reason that this one makes it so high on the list is because of the sheer number of lyrics mods that actually were based off of it. On my channel alone, I think I've covered 7 to 10 TWIDDLEFINGER type mods, and there are also countless more on Game Banana right now. And even though TWIDDLEFINGER is also a Jeffy clone, I don't think anybody can deny that it has had a huge impact on the community and inspired people to make their own versions. At number 2, we have to go with Jeffy's Endless Athos, and this one makes it so high because without it, we wouldn't even have TWIDDLEFINGER or the Rotten-Smoothie mods. And as far as influence goes, this mod may take the cake in this category simply because it has spawned way more clones than any other lyrics mod at this time. And while some people have come to hate the Athos mods, you cannot deny the impact that they've had on the community. And finally, at the first place spot, we have to go with Silly Billy. I don't think anybody will disagree when I say that Silly Billy basically revived the FNF community when it dropped, especially the mod scene. So when you talk about influence as like a overall thing, this one definitely takes the cake. And while Silly Billy may not be like the first lyrics mod to drop technically, I think when you think of the genre, most people will think of Silly Billy at this point. I also gave it the first place slot because it was more creative than a lot of other mods in general. The cutscene itself still gives me chills. And while Silly Billy doesn't have as many clones like the Jeffy mod, I think the clones that are made of Silly Billy are of a higher quality overall, and that could simply be because they're fewer, but I think the point still stands. But with that being said, let me know what you think of this ranking or if you think anybody else should be on this list. And if you enjoyed this video, check out this video on the screen here. Subscribe today to become a member of Orseofkorse, and we'll see you tomorrow with another video. Peace, peace.